Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm very excited to do because I'm going to be talking about my high-end makeup favorites of 2022. And before we get started, I would like to welcome all new visitors and viewers to my channel. Hi, my name is Eve and I love all things beauty. Here on my channel I talk about beauty, makeup, skincare, and at times fashion and travel. And if that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy it while watching this video, give this video a like, it does help my channel out. And without further ado, let's dive into my high-end makeup favorites of 2022. Most of the products that I'm going to be talking about today, I am wearing on my face, and I will show you some of the demo applications throughout this video. Majority of all the products that I'm going to be talking about today, I have purchased and discovered in 2022. So I will share a few honorable mentions with you to very few items that I could not mention. Back in December 2022, I've started doing a lot of declutters and roundup videos for the end of the year, and I continue in January. And there's still few videos that you will see from me this month as far as a roundup of the products goes. I hope you're excited to see them as much as I was excited to film them for you. In this video, you unfortunately will not see any of the eyeshadow palettes because I do have a pretty exciting ranking video of all the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried in 2022. However, I want to show you what I'm wearing on my eyes today. So I have these two palettes mixed. I used a matte from Side by Side by Nabla palette, and I used the shimmers from Charlotte Tilbury palette, Smoky Eyes of Forever. That was their holiday edition for 2021. Both of these palettes are in my January Shop My Stash. These are the new series to my channel this year. I will be going through all the products and the categories, and of course timestamps will be below this video as per usual. Let's begin from the complexion product, and I do have a few foundations to share with you today. The first foundation, and also the one that I'm wearing today on my skin, Even Better Clinical Serum Foundation SPF 25 from Clinique. My shade is CN28 Ivory. This foundation was not launched in 2022, however I discovered it in 2022. Even though it is a serum foundation which has a little bit of hydration in the formulation, this works so well with my combination oily skin. Considerably liquid formula, and it just melts into your skin. I do absolutely need to set it with some type of powder and possibly even retouch it because it is a hydrating formula. I really love how thin this formula is. However, it gives you that nice medium coverage from that first layer of application. One layer of this foundation is just enough for me. I never have a need to go back and add in certain areas like you saw me applying today. It just gives me the coverage right off the bat that I need, that looks beautiful on skin. Also, the formula has this type of lightweight texture that just melts into your skin. It gives that hydration. It does not look like it sits on top of your skin and looks really nice and natural. I really love this formula that it not only looks good on camera or on photographs, it also looks really good in person. My second favorite foundation for 2022 was LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. Has an HA, turmeric, and ashwagandha ingredients. This foundation and the entire brand I discovered earlier this year, and I was not disappointed. LYS is one of the more affordable brands at Sephora, and this formula very much reminds me of the Clinique foundation that I just spoke about. It does have that thinner, more hydrating formula that melts into your skin, gives you that very beautiful medium coverage, and wears well throughout the day. Really, I definitely need to set this with a powder because again, it is a hydrating formula. However, it just looks beautiful on skin, very natural. Even though it is a hydrating formula, I don't find that it settles into my smile lines here around my mouth. The component is beautifully like matte frosted glass. It feels quite luxury if you have it displayed on your vanity. Plus it has some skin loving ingredients added in the formulation. This next product is not gonna come to you as a surprise. Again, this foundation was not launched this year. I discovered it this year, and it was back in January, and I loved this foundation this whole entire year. This is a tinted Doll Ultra Wear by Lancome. This is a formula that is different from the other two foundations that I just spoke about. This is a foundation that is more of a soft matte finish. Definitely is more suitable for my combination oily skin type. This formula is spectacular. It is very thin, it is highly pigmented, it looks truly undetectable on skin. It's very long wearing formula. I could apply it like at 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I could wear it till like 9, 10 in the evening, and it would still look as if I just applied it an hour ago. It just does not budge from the skin. Also, it is a very comfortable, soft matte formula. It feels very natural on your skin, that you do not feel it when you move throughout the day. It is a really nice high coverage foundation. It does build up a little bit. However, you still will not get that full coverage like it was marketed, and this formula is also fragrance free. It's weightless. I will use the word undetectable because it truly is unnoticeable in your skin. As far as the concealers, if you've been to my channel this past year, none of them are going to come to you as a surprise because I just zhuzhed through your ears this entire year about all these 3 products that are coming next. I'm going to talk about these 2 concealers together because the formulation in a way is kind of similar to my opinion. I have a Tinted All Ultra Wear All Over Concealer by Lancome and Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer by LYS. It makes sense for me to talk about these 2 together because not only the formulas are very, very similar, however, the shades also fall into that natural category for me that overall match my skin tone. They're not brightening shades for me. If I want to use them under my eyes, it's one of those days that I do not want my under eye or generally eye area to be too bright. Both of these formulas are hydrating. They give you that very nice high medium coverage. I do need to set them with the powder. However, once they're set, they do not accentuate any lines under my eyes, and they also do not fade throughout the day. Also, both of these formulations are fragrance free, which I love. This next concealer I am wearing on my eyes today, and this is a Faux Filter Concealer by Huda Beauty. This is in the shade Cotton Candy 2.3B. If you wake me up in the middle of the night, I will remember this shade because I wore this concealer so much since the time I discovered it. This formula is outstanding for me, for my opinion. It is definitely a little bit more of the brightening shade for me, a shade that is a little bit lighter than my general complexion. Upon initial application, the formula does have that hydrating feel to it and just spreads and applies really easily, whichever way you prefer to apply, with your finger, with a brush, or a sponge. And once it sets, it turns into a soft matte finish. Also, a big bonus that it is a self-setting formula. So if you did not want to powder it, you don't have to with this one. This is a really nice medium high coverage that actually helps me with hiding my blueness under eyes. I struggle with insomnia, and at times I do wake up with darkness under my eyes, and I feel like this concealer does it for me. And this formula wears really well throughout the day without fading. I'm a combination oily skin. I have more visible pores on my T-zone, and my forehead is the oiliest. I do usually set my T-zone very well, and I also need to retouch my complexion products sometime midway, 3-4 hours in. So I do test a lot of complexion products. I have a significant powder collection. Over the years, I've tried all different formulas, from retouching powders to finishing to setting to powder foundations. This powder I discovered this year. This is a Stay Matte Universal Blotting Powder. It is considerably firmly pressed, which is not uncommon for this type of product. You can definitely set it and dust it off when initially you do your makeup. However, this is a perfect powder for retouching. This is a wonderful formula. It does the job. It is that soft matte finish. I usually apply this retouching powder with a brush or a triangular powder puff, and this works wonderfully. It does not have a flashback. It does not look drying on your skin or too matte or crusty. Once you apply it, it definitely prolongs the wearability of your makeup on the T-zone. This next powder I tried also this year, and this is Buyer Blurring Loose Setting Powder by Haus Labs. Haus Labs is the brand of Lady Gaga, and they rebranded this year and were launched in Sephora. The component is quite bulky, however, it's fully plastic and it feels very light. This powder is marketed as a setting powder. However, for my combination oily skin, I find this powder to be more of finishing powder than setting. I really have been using it in one specific way, setting my eye area and retouching my T-zone. And I really find that this formula is very lovely for that. It has a very soft blurring effect, which I find looks really beautiful and natural on the face, especially around eyes and on a T-zone. I really think that if you are more normal to maybe even drier skin, and for some reason you do need a powder that's very light, however gives you like that blurring velvety finish, I think you might like this. This next category of makeup is one of my favorites, and I do love all my bronzers. Today I have 3 to share with you. The ones have been my favorites. I do discover 2 of them this year, and one of them will be an honorable mention. I want to start from this bronzer by Fenty Beauty. It's called Sun Stalker in the shade In the Sun 01. This bronzer does not swatch well, so I will give you my best ability to describe it. Here I've tried a good amount of products from Fenty Beauty this year, and I've discovered some really nice products. However, this powder bronzer was definitely a standout. The shade range for the bronzers is very nice. This formula also applies really nicely. It does build up a little bit if you just want a little bit of definition of that warmth to your complexion. The undertone is perfect when I'm at my palest. You really can't mess it up. It looks very natural on skin. This next bronzer I do have on my face today as a setting formula for my cream bronzer. So this is No Limits, a matte bronzer from LYS Beauty in the shade Motivate. This is a lovely formula. It's a little bit more on that softer side, and this specific shade is definitely a little bit more pigmented to my complexion. However, it blends really easily. It lasts through the day without fading. I really have enjoyed this bronzer this year. And as I promised, an honorable mention, this is also the product that I'm wearing on my face today. NARS Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream in the shade Laguna. After they relaunched this bronzing cream and they added more shades, and now my Laguna is in Laguna 2. This bronzing cream is, dare I say, perfection. It just everything that I would ever want from a cream bronzer. It is quite pigmented formula. A little goes a long way. It does have a beautiful natural finish that is self-setting. If you do not like to set your bronzers, you really don't have to. This is also budge proof. I have discovered some really lovely blush products, both cream formulas and powder formulas. I'm wearing one of the blushes on my skin today, and again, this is LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Inspire. You see that a lot of LYS products have made it to my favorites list this year, and for a good reason. The shade is pretty unique to my collection. It's a little bit more concentrated, burnt cheek effect. The shade of it is definitely one of the things that I really like about this blush. However, what really makes it for me is the formula itself. It's definitely a very unique formula to my entire cream blush collection. Besides that, it is quite pigmented. However, you still can go light-handed and just blend it into your skin, and it does that very, very well and easily. This formula is satin matte. It does set into a matte finish, and you do not need to set it with anything else if you don't like to. However, it does have that satin effect in its formulation that somehow brings that glow to your cheek. It just gives you that very healthy finish to your complexion. Another cream blush that is definitely a standout for me this year is this one by Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Blush in the shade Peachy Keen. This is a little bit more on the creamy glowy side formula, however very easy to apply, blends really easily, applies really easily, it doesn't fade throughout the day, but what makes it for me really is the shade itself. It's just that perfect corally peach that looks very healthy on skin, and I feel like it would look so good on so many different complexions. This color also builds up if you want a little bit more accentuated color. I do have a powder blush that actually took my heart away this year. And this is a blush that I had my eyes on for some time, but I just couldn't get to it for some reason. And this year I finally tried it, and this is a Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop in the shade 10 Fig Pop. This is just such a beautiful shade. The shade is pretty much true to color. What you see in the pan, that's what I see on my skin when I apply it. It is the beautiful burnt cheek effect, but very much reminds me of the shade of the LYS cream blush that I just spoke about earlier. However, in the powder formula, and it also does have a beautiful sheen. If you are the person who does not like highlighters, but you do like that slight, beautiful, healthy glow to your skin, you might like this formula. Honorable mention that I discovered actually towards the end of 2021, and I have been loving throughout this past year of 2022. It's the Cheeky Vegan Powder Blush by Glowish in the shade Caring Coral 02. In the pan, this blush could look intimidating and almost neon-like. However, on skin, it does go that peachy coral, pink type of shade because it is a swirl of coral shade and a little bit of like pink mauve tone. It does give you that a really nice combination that is very, very flattering. I live in Florida and we do enjoy a lot of warm days down here, and I found myself reaching for this blush so much this past year. I feel like this is a perfect shade for warmer days. When it comes to my favorite highlighter this year, it could come as a small cheat because this product is a part of a face palette. This is a highlighter from the Face Glam palette from Natasha Denona. Besides that, I use the entire palette. However, the highlighter is definitely one of my favorites, and this is what I'm wearing today. I find it very smooth. I also find the shade being quite universal. This has been my go-to in 2022. And as a combination oily skin person, it is quite an important step for me to prime my face before applying any foundations. 9 times out of 10, I do apply primer under my foundation. There are some foundation formulas, they're truly amazing and do not require a primer. In most cases, I do use a primer, and sometimes not one, but 2. When it came to primers, today I wanted to do 2 honorable mentions. These are not the products that I tried first time in 2022. They rolled over from 2021 for me. And when it comes to high-end products, these are the most 2 that truly stood out for me. And when it came to primers, in 2022, I really did not add anything to my collection because my primer collection is already pretty extensive. So I really wanted to focus on the products that I already have. So these 2 products, they're quite kind of similar, but there is a very small difference from one to another. I have Tatcha Liquid Silk Primer, and I have the All Nighter by Urban Decay. Both of these primers have a similarity. They are lotion-like. They do have a portion of hydration in them and also wear very well all around the face. And I would get the effect that I need for both my T-zone and my general complexion. So whenever I use any of these 2 primers, I do not need a secondary primer. I think these 2 giving me blurring effect and smoothing my complexion. This is actually the newer second tube that I have here, and I really enjoy this formula. So when it comes to Urban Decay, and you see how skinny this packaging is because I've been using it quite a bit, this is more of a multifaceted product than Tatcha Silk Canvas. It does have a smoothing and pore filling effect. It also has a slight gripping effect. Lipsticks were definitely a category that I did not want to add too many products because my lip product collection this year was overflowing. And if you saw my lipstick declutter, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. However, I still have discovered a few products this year and I was not disappointed. This year, I've tried Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Sunbaked that I'm wearing today. And I enjoyed this formula so much, I picked up 2 more shades. Neutral shade Hazelnut and Classic Red Cherry. These are your classic wooden pencils that need to be sharpened. They are pigmented, they're super easy to apply. If you like to fill in your lips with the pencil, they are soft enough to help you to do that with ease and pretty quickly. At the same time, they're not too soft to be sliding outside of the edges. The lip formula that is on my lips today is the Signature Lip Lipstick by Married Beauty. I love this formula. It is very comfortable. It almost feels balm-like and gives it hydration last throughout the day or as long as you have it on your lips. This shade Cabo I specifically like because it does have that red-ish, almost like an orangey red type of color. It does not look as harsh as a red color could be, but I feel like it does brighten up my complexion. Another lipstick formula that I discovered this year, not only that I like the formula, I also absolutely love the shade. This is a satin lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. The formula is really nice and creamy. It gives you a satin effect. However, it's not too slippery. Very comfortable, creamy formula. The glow does not fade away with time. And then needless to say, this is my perfect nude shade. Very brief mention to a lip care product that was a very nice discovery this past year. Isle Lip Balm in SPF 30 by K-Skin. This is a tiny size that I have here. Watery, very shiny, glossy effect on your lips like a lip gloss would do, but you do get a nice benefit of SPF 30. And my 2 favorite mascaras for 2022 would not come to you as a surprise. You may have seen them in a lot of my videos. Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara and It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Today I'm wearing Superhero by IT Cosmetics. This is the one that I'm currently using. This Stila Huge Volumizer Mascara is a brand new tube for me. Stila has a figure 8 brush, and then Superhero Mascara has the pointed straight brush. Both of these formulas are phenomenal to my opinion. They do not smudge, they do not crumble, they both give you beautiful length and beautiful volume. I feel like this could be my forever 2 favorite. And last but not least, again, one of my most favorite categories of makeup is the eyebrows. And this year I've discovered some really nice products. These eyebrow products I've been using throughout the year, and they've been featured in a lot of my videos. And I have these 3 products to mention from Too Faced. These 2 products I'm wearing on my eyebrows today. This is a pomade and a pencil, and a brow wig brow gel. These 2 pencils are fantastic. They have pencils on one side, and then both of them have spoolies on the other side. This smaller one is a little bit more precise, and the pomade and the pencil is just a little bit larger. It does not have a teardrop shape. It almost has a very narrow oval shape. Honestly, do not think that you need both of these pencils. One of them will do it, but they are both very great pencils. And then the brow wig is also fabulous. It does have a natural bristle brush. This has a really beautiful hold and also gives a very nice color application. These are just solid formulas. If you like hold, if you like pigment, all these 3 products are in the shade soft brown, and I think they beautifully work with my complexion. Another eyebrow duo that I want to briefly mention is this by Kosas, the Air Brow Mascara and the pencil. Both of the formulas are beautiful. They apply easily, they don't smudge, they're not messy. The brow mascara definitely gives you a really nice hold. The pencil shape is perfect. It's not too big or too small. It allows you to draw and outline your eyebrows. Also, it's not too emollient that it would smudge too easily. This sums up my video of all my high-end makeup favorites for 2022. I definitely tried more wonderful products this year. However, these were the ones that truly stood out. And now I would like to hear from you. Did you see any of your favorites here in my stash of favorites? And also, what was your favorite product in 2022 from the high-end brands? If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see my drugstore affordable favorites from makeup from 2022, that video is already live on my channel. And if you're not yet a subscriber, I invite you to do so before you leave. Thanks so much for watching, hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next videos. Bye.